been very exciting for us in the last 12 months with the Linking Learning Project. We've been able to link in with all the other settings and build stronger relationships, whether with playgroup, kinder, the Catholic school system, maternal health nurse, local government. We've been able to link together, building strong relationships, sharing knowledge, sharing ideas, and building relationships for our community. So we've been able to establish that in the last 12 months, which is very exciting.
We have a municipal plan which is called Connect, and the Linking Learning Project aligns with all of the objectives in that. So that focuses on family strengthening, providing opportunities for social connections for families, and those opportunities to connect, which again, as you can see, is part of that Linking Learning Project.
Wow.
Feeling that I'm connected to more professionals, more services, knowing what other schools and kinders are doing in the area to what I can do, and making comparisons and getting help and ideas and things like that. It's been really good.
We've implemented professional learning sessions with all the settings in the Linking Learning Project, and we've brought on board Professor John Munro from Melbourne University, who's got expertise in literacy and oral language. Oral language was identified as one of the needs that we needed to work through in the Linking Learning Project.
Yeah, we're leading a professional development project focusing on building teachers' professional knowledge about oral language, how it develops, how to identify it in young children's use, and how we can help them improve how they use it.
When we talk about oral language, every setting in Thomastown is on the same page around what does oral language mean? What are the elements of oral language?
The data they're gathering about the children is consistent and systematic and common, and the children are being exposed to similar teaching practices that are taken on board where they are at any point in their development, but that are consistent in the sorts of ways in which they're requiring the students to learn, and that helps them to make progress more smoothly.
What's he doing? What's the giant doing?
We developed a new enrolment process this year that's going really well. So we've trialled it in our school, and we're sharing this information with other settings at the moment, and it's going really well. We now know 6 months out, these children need support in many different areas, not just for the child, but for the family as well.
Maternal and child health nurses routinely use the Brigance tool. We're able then to assess children for school readiness and liaise with the kinders through to school.
And it doesn't matter where you go in Thomastown, agencies can come and connect. Needs are met much, much earlier. And so we're proactive rather than reactive.
And getting that focus on it early and picking up on issues, encouraging it, developing the oral language is great. That's what we need.
It's really important for parents to have a lot of language with their children and try to extend their children's language, because they're the ones that are with them 90% of the time. So them actually extending conversations, talking while they're playing, talking while they're at the shops is really beneficial.
Especially if I'm driving or in the city or whatnot, they will say, "Oh Mum, look at this," or "Look at that," or "Oh, we've been here before." Like, they recognise things, and then we start talking about, "Oh yeah, do you remember when we went in there and saw this or saw that?" It helps them out in school, it helps them out in their writing, even helps out in their reading.
And we decided and worked with teachers in our whole Linking Learning group to come up with 4 key areas where children could have an easy access to language development with their families. So the videos we made, we partnered up with some local families. We had parents and their children, and we filmed them in different sites around Thomastown. So we decided to have one looking at going to the local shops with your child and the language and play that happens there, one reading with your child, one walking down the street, like on the way to school, what you can do on the way to school, and another one playing with your child.
And the idea is we're going to put those on our websites, all our school and settings websites, by looking at an example, a 30-second example of how you can read to your child at home, how you can promote oral language out in the supermarket, even in their home language, is really exciting for us, so the parent community can have an effect around oral language development as well.
The enthusiasm has grown since we started, and I'm wanting the group as a whole to build this group knowledge that can scaffold further the professional knowledge that each person is learning. So, you know, it is really group knowledge.
So next year will be about embedding the practice that we've learnt this year. What are the holes? Are there still holes and gaps in what we need to do? Let's plug those gaps in, and in the third year really embed them down and consolidate what we've learnt. And so then that continues on. In the third year, we're going to have to look, how are we going to sustain it? What resourcing do we need to put in? Do we need to put in extra people, extra money? And then us as a settings need to organise how we're going to sustain this long term for the benefit of people in Thomastown.